Erie. Thanks for joining me again. Have you heard the news? I doubt it. We are staring down the barrel of a loaded UN peacekeeping tank. One world government is just around the corner. Now, why? Well, control, of course. And do you know who's going to be in control? Not me, and more than likely not you. It's front organizations like the World Bank, the IMF, and the United Nations. Well, these are just the obvious ones. There are a lot of powerful people out there that you and I don't even know about who are pulling the strings. So, as long as we stay content, as long as we stay comfortable, ignorance is bliss, Erie. Decisions for the masses are made by the globalist elite. That's going to be one party that we won't be invited to. Let's talk a little bit about just who these global financiers are. Let's start with Jacob Rothschild. He controls the European Central Bank. Then there's Dominique Strauss-Kahn. He's the director of the International Monetary Fund. Mervyn King, governor of the Central Bank of England. Robert Zoellick, head of the World Bank. John Lipsky, managing director of the IMF. And how about Ben Shalom Bernanke, chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank? You know, frankly, there are too many to count. No Murphys, Smiths, Browns, or O'Learys here, my friends. Now, the first step is the creation of a cashless society. Even U.S. Treasury Secretary Timmy Geithner called for a global finance system. Then, a senior official of the European Central Bank presented the creation of a cashless payment system across national borders. This is the first step. It's happening now. After that, it'll be mandatory worldwide national ID cards, all tied directly into centralized supercomputers. Don't think that's possible? Well, nations like Brussels, Germany, and the Netherlands already have a national ID card system in place. Now, not too long ago, Senator Charles Chucky Schumer, a Democrat, introduced his immigration reform bill, which requires all American citizens to carry a biometric national ID card with embedded information such as iris and fingerprint data, credit and criminal histories, DNA sequences, social profiling, and medical histories. And not surprisingly, all linked to a central database. And without this national ID card, you won't be able to buy or sell anything. Okay, so you and everyone else in the country, we get set up with these ID cards. Want to guess what'll happen next? Well, I'm willing to bet we'll start hearing stories about unfortunate people who had their all-precious ID cards lost or stolen. Now, people are currently freaking out about identity theft. This will put people over the edge. Now, with fear permanently planted in the public's minds, maybe, just maybe, we might even then be conditioned to accept implants. ID implants, which, of course, cannot be lost or stolen. Our ever-caring leaders, keeping us safe in their bosom. Wait a second, this isn't a bosom. Something smells funny here. Now, I have no doubt that most Americans, now, some who ain't quite so bright, will submit to this national ID card, and maybe, just maybe, someday, these implants. Mark of the beast, perhaps? But for those of us who are on to the Zionist game, the national ID card will be rejected and fought every inch of the way. You know, I'd rather starve than let one world government rule our stomachs, our wrists, and even our minds. Now, at the turn of the 19th century, Jewish mega-bankster Mayer Amschel Rothschild proclaimed, "Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes her laws." Now, there are three specific goals of these New World Order types. First, erasing national borders. Just imagine the invasion of illegals into the U.S. Second, the demise of financial institutions. American savings and loan banks were dismantled in the 1990s, of course, and independent banks like Bear Stearns have been taken over by JP Morgan and the Jewish-owned Federal Reserve Bank. Bear Stearns was forced by the Fed to loan money to unqualified borrowers or be sued. This, of course, caused its collapse. Third, eliminate Christian culture. Hey man, get that nativity set off your lawn. Not everyone is Catholic, you know. Say goodbye to public Christian expression, all thanks to the Jewish-run U.S. legal system and the elimination of Christian political activity throughout the Western world via the Zionist lie known as separation of church and state. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, strong fences make good neighbors, right? Personally, the concept of a borderless planet and the direction this world is heading in scares the crap out of me. There's even been reports that these, I don't even know quite what to call them, but, well, they're basically drones that have been integrating into all aspects of society and government across the globe for decades now. These are essentially the ground forces of the New World Order, terrorists of our minds and our morals. These drones could be your neighbors, your friends, hell, your family members, invading our lives from the inside out, tearing apart everything we stand for piece by piece, slowly over time. Now, I'm not trying to be an alarmist here, but we have to wake up, people. We have to look around, open our eyes. Food for thought. Now, we have to wrap it up here, but I wanted to quickly switch gears for a moment and tell you about a little personal news. I've recently been contacted by a filmmaker who wants to put me in a film called There Are No Goodbyes. The website's called therearenogoodbyes.com. Still working out all the details, and I can only imagine what this liberal artiste is looking for. Also, coming soon, my book, Building the Ark, a guide to saving America from itself, will be hitting the shelves. There are things you need to know and things you can do if you value your family and your freedom. You need to be prepared. It's not going to stop until we stop it. And remember, my book, New World Disorder, is already on store shelves and is selling like hotcakes. We really appreciate your support. And it's nice to see how so many people across the globe are willing to listen to a voice of reason amongst all the liberal garbage out there. Climb aboard my ark, Erie. It's only going to get deeper.